There is this belief saying that the strongest force in the universe is called the friction. Friction is something that often stands between you and the creative process. It is a go or no-go for many, including myself, and often prevents the motivation to kick in and just get you in that get stuff done mindset. Friction was with me for the longest I can remember. It is a force to be reckoned with. Believe me or not, I've been doing this for the last 4 years in various places, channels, and I've always felt like I could be doing so much more if it wasn't for friction. Now, what does this have to do with this video? Not only I'm gonna show you a tour of my studio, exactly how I'm doing things, but also the purpose of why I'm doing things this way. The main purpose is to eliminate friction, and with the limited time I have and limited space I have, to create as much content and as much enjoyable videos for me and for you as I possibly can. Hopefully it's gonna help you, hopefully it's gonna guide you through a process of creating a small YouTube studio. Maybe you are inspired by a person like me or people like me who are creating content from their own bedrooms and you wanna go that route as well. I hope this video will help you. Let's begin. Back in 2019, when I was starting the Cool Factor, I knew that I needed to make a space that would work in the long term and would be the most efficient and most friendly, user-friendly possibly space to make videos. Now I'm using a corner of a bedroom. I was thinking about renting an office space. I used to work in studios specifically designed for making YouTube videos, so I knew how awesome it is to actually work in a studio. So I tried to imitate that feeling while being at home. It's not an easy feat. Let me just tell you for the context that I decided upon having a space of about the size of, let's say, 70 inches. I think that the table is about 65 inches, so 70 inches on the long side, and if I go to the camera, maybe around here, it'll be about 65, 66 inches of space. And that space, the main premise was to include everything here: the table for filming, building Lego, whatnot, the light setup, the cameras, the computer even so, and everything between that makes my channel hopefully look nice to you. So this is the main premise of getting this done. Now, how long does it right now take me to get from nothing, the dark room, to filming? The answer is about 5 to 10 minutes with all the checks and balances for my streaming quality or whatever, but the initial gear setup takes me about, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. I have the predetermined position of the microphone. I'm gonna get into the gear in a second. I just take the cable, get this to the camera directly. I don't use any mixers for simplicity. The GH5 I'm using has a pretty good preamp for the microphone, so I run this to the camera, and then I check the positioning of the tripod. The tripod is the only thing that I have on the floor. That was my main goal, and I kind of achieved it only last month. With no cables, nothing, the legs of the tripod are the only thing that stands on the floor and that needs to be moved before I start filming. So I move the tripod either away from the desk or slightly closer to me, depending on which framing I want to achieve. If you're wondering if you should buy a cheapo, squeaky tripod for like 30, 40, 50 bucks, or spring out to a Manfrotto brand, which is one of the best brands you can get for a $200 tripod. If you're thinking about this seriously over the long term, I say go for the quality gear if you can. Okay, let's talk about the camera for a second. So I'm using two cameras, a Lumix GH5 with a 16mm Sigma 1.4 lens, and also a Lumix G7, which has been serving me for the past 5 or 6 years now. All the vlogs, most of my content has been made on this camera. I love it to bits. I still have it for my B camera. Now it's the GH5 is my main camera. You can of course find the links below if you want to check them out. If you ever buy this camera from the links below, you're gonna help me out. Those are affiliate links, so you can of course help out the channel without any cost to you. I should also mention, before I move to the furniture and everything, that the cameras are running not on batteries. I have DC couplers. Those are small, like fake battery packs that you plug to the power source. There's a converter in between and it runs the exact voltage to the camera. I have two of these for the GH5 and for the G7, and they allow me to, for example, stream for 3, 4, 5 hours without ever worrying about the power left on the batteries. And if you're using Elgato cam links, as I use for streaming, for transferring the HDMI signal to the computer, then a dummy battery kit that allows you to plug the camera is a no-brainer. You gotta get this if you are serious serious about making long streams. For videos, you can always use battery because these cameras last pretty long on batteries if you're even recording 4K, but for the streams, I want to be safe and I'm using DC couplers, aka dummy batteries. The light setup, those are Elgato key lights, Wi-Fi controlled, app controlled, integrated with the desk. I moved to this from 2 light stands from Amazon, the cheapo newer light stands that were taking tons of space with the stands on the floor next to the tripod, and we're having cables running on them. Now the Elgato key lights are integrated with the desk, height adjustable, just one cable running through, always on a standby, and these are fantastic. Now the stands that they come with, those are called the Elgato mount stands or the Elgato mount. What I have on one of those, I have an expansion called Elgato Flex Arm Kit, which enables me to use one of these stands as a holder, as a boom arm for the microphone. One of those lights is connected to a small rig clamp arm that allows me to run the light on the pole of the Elgato stand and get the tip used for the boom mic. So that also allows me to have a fully integrated setup without anything on the floor or away from the desk. They're giving pretty soft light. I can adjust everything from the app. This was probably one of the biggest upgrades I made from to the studio over the course of a year. They offer the best value for the money, and I think they offer also the best comfortable usage and the most easy to use setup I ever witnessed in a light setup like this for a small studio. Think it as IKEA for streamers or creative people. It's just so small of a footprint, it's amazing. As I mentioned, the audio setup, that flex arm from Elgato is running towards a main shotgun mic, that's the Sennheiser MKE 600, and this one also has a little feature that not only it has the cable integrated with the Elgato flex arm, but also you can flip it kind of. So if I'm here on this side of the desk, I talk to you right now, you have clear audio. If I move on the other side of the desk to make a Lego set review, for example, and I have to be on the other side to manipulate the set and manipulate the camera, so I see what I'm recording and talking to you in a review, I flip the microphone and then I get clear audio on the other side without anything else, and it's amazing, it's fantastic. It now takes me 10 seconds to get the microphone running. Before that, I would have to use one of these arms, remove it from the side of the desk, move it away, flip it so the audio is good, finish the review, move it back for the next video, and so on. I hated that. That was creating friction. Second microphone, this guy here, actually is not active right now, I'm using the main shotgun mic, but it looks cool in the shot, right, don't you think? This is the Audio-Technica AT2020 Plus USB condenser microphone. I use this when the camera is not running, when I'm on a podcast or something. This is the microphone I use, sometimes for the news, if I record directly to the computer. And on top of that, for $150, it gives you a fantastic quality of sound. So one of the best value for the money microphones you can possibly get. The arm is a cheapo $20 Amazon newer arm that you can buy anywhere on Amazon, and it also serves me sometimes as a camera holder if I want to have a second angle of a camera. Alright, maybe a word about the furniture. Real quick, this is just an IKEA, I think Lindman or something around that. I think it runs you about $40 for this size, and then you buy 4 legs and it runs you about $60 total. So it's not an expensive piece of furniture. You can get this with a darker tone. The first thing I purchased for the studio, and I was looking for the cheapest, most stable. It's not as stable as I want it to be, but the most stable I can get for the money desk setup that gives me a lot of real estate. This over here is an IKEA, it's on the screen right now, I don't remember the name, but it's basically a vertical shelf with a square shelves on each level. So this is just meant to be small display space for small sets. I pre-select the sets every so and then to just fit here. That's why I like the small displayable sets. Those are the puck lights, the LED puck lights that you can control via the remote. You can get them on and off. It's pretty cheap to buy, about $20 or $25 pack of 6. Works great, and to them I bought a bunch of rechargeable IKEA batteries. Each runs like 3 AA batteries. A triplet of these runs one of those lights for days. So it's pretty fantastic, and just add this little like cool thing to the background, and I can change the color if I want. Beyond the Brick video, red. Cool Factor video, I like blue. There you go. On my left, you don't see it right now because I changed my camera angle, but it's a Fortino Amazon non-tool required assembly shelf. I just got it to be my staging area for the sets I'm about to review, or maybe sets I want to have close by to me. And it also serves as a shelf for my little fill light, which is the Amaran ALM9 shelf, and it's right there just to fill that little light setup behind me so it doesn't look like a bland background. For the background, I do have the acoustic panels. I should have mentioned that before, but these are also cheaper Amazon panels. You can get packs per 20, I think for about $20-30. I just put them on a $1 cardboard, stick them to the wall with a dual-sided tape, so no damage to the wall in a rental apartment. Each one of these is also taped to that cardboard with that way. It kind of like they kind of bend a bit over time because it's been a year since I put them on, but they work pretty well for sound dampening. The sound is not reflecting behind me, so it sounds pretty good and crisp. Even though there is not much furniture in this room, it actually helps a lot, and it looks cool, and I like blue, and I just decided it's gonna look that way, so there you go. And one more light I do actually have that I use sometimes. I think I used it. It's a gift I received from a company called Blind Spot Gear some time ago. And this is actually like zip tied to a leg of my table, and the cable runs to a power source, and that's about it. It serves me as like this reflector light that if I get this guy used for something else, like this my Amaran small light for maybe filling the light on a review, I can always use this one to blast the background with some extra light, and that's something that I like. I don't use it very much because it gets pretty warm and warms up my studio, but it works pretty well. So always try to play around with the light. I think it's the most important thing you can get in a YouTube video to look really awesome. First of all, of course, the skin tones and everything, but you can also get some really cool effects with lighting if you use them wisely. You can even use a desk lamp in the background to make it even cooler. Definitely something to consider if you're thinking about your home studio. And I'm using a cheap dual stand monitor right now to have two monitors on one side of me, so I have my script, my bullet points, whatever I'm talking about, any news reporting I can do from here. And these are actually also space savers because the stand just takes one corner. Elgato key lights take the edges of the table. This works pretty fantastic and I'm happy with this setup. It gives me as much real estate as I can with this limited space for basically the main thing I do, which is building Lego here in the studio and just having a work desk. And the last but not the least, I want to talk about the little hacks I made to just make this space that much more comfortable, that much more enjoyable to work in. First of all, I want to mention my little cable holders. They're like little black spots here on the edges of the table, strategically placed to hold my cables. That's it. Those are like packs of I think 10 or 25, I don't know, for 10 bucks on Amazon. And what they do, they basically allow me to have like an extension cable for my audio here close by to me. So if I plug my headphones, they're right here. The cable runs under the desk to the computer's port. On the other side, there is one more, I think, 5-way. This one holds my DC couplers for my camera, so anytime I take the camera off to vlog or just, I don't know, just misplace the camera from the studio, I remove that from the camera, place it here so it never falls on the floor. It's always here, I can always grab it. Same goes for HDMI cables. If I run my HDMI cables from my cam links, if I disconnect the cameras, I can just hold the cable by the table edge and never on the floor, never wrinkled with all the other cables and my carpet and everything. So that's a little hack I recommend everybody to take. Easy cable access at all times. Velcro zip ties, I call them just Velcro straps, to attach the cables, to just hold the cables close to whatever direction they're going. Anything that can stay together for a longer period of time, just Velcro it around, and then you have a much more fancy, much more pleasant studio to work in. You don't have to think about all the cables that are everywhere on the floor. That would be it, I think. Of course, this studio will evolve. I think I changed the setup 5 or 6 times ever since I wanted to make this video. That's why I was holding off, because, oh wait, I'm actually gonna upgrade this first, and then I'm gonna make the video. And I'm gonna upgrade this, and then I'm gonna make the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helped you decide what you need for a small corner bedroom, a table, some furniture, think about your background, audio, lights, camera. Those are the main premises of you making a small YouTube studio. It can be in your corner of your living room if you have the means to do it. Just remember, your space needs to be a focus-driven space. So you have to have a possibility to just zone out, focus on your work in that space. So that means mostly no eating there, no gaming, no nothing. It's just imagine that's your space as if it was your office somewhere by your employer's destination. Definitely helped me a ton with my mindset and how I approach things and how comfortable I feel here when I record, and there is no distractions, just focus-driven space. So make sure that's your main premise before you even start designing your studio. As always, hit the like button, subscribe below if you enjoyed what I had to say. I hope this comprehensive longer video of a small YouTube studio helped you navigate through all the obstacles of making a space work for you. All the links are below are affiliate links, so if you want to click on them, browse through, even buy something for your studio, I would really appreciate that. It will help me with a small commission from Amazon. Those are at no cost to you. And of course, as always, comment below, and I hope I will see some photos from you, maybe some awesome things to see how this video helped you create your own creative space. For me, it's still an evolving process, but I think I'm getting there where I really want it to be. If I ever, I hope I will sooner than later, get my own creative space that's a full room, not shared with a bedroom purpose, then I'm gonna be probably implying all the experience I've been having with designing this studio there, but with this mindset of having a full room to all that workflow and everything. That will be awesome. Thank you so much for watching. It was Mike, and I'll see you next time on The Cool Factor. Bye. Okay, and now to first of all, lights gone. Microphone is away. You can kill the lights here, so all's good. We can kill that one, and you're gonna see nothing but darkness. Bye. There we go. Okay, bye.